The World Series is over and the Atlanta Braves have hoisted the Commissioner's Trophy after defeating the Houston Astros. Hello everyone and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Destiny Sanchez.
And I'm Zach Gershman. The dog days of summer have officially come to an end and the countdown to pitchers and catchers reporting to camp has officially kicked off. But Destiny, let's take a step back. Let's go down to the World Series. A-Town partying like it's 1995. What stood out to you from the series?
I was really pleased with this series, a lot of competitiveness across the board. I said this a few weeks ago, it was all going to come down to who had that last push, and throughout the whole postseason, that was the Atlanta Braves. You know, they had their pitching shut down the Astros' dynamic offense from the beginning. Didn't think that the Astros pitching was that bad, but the combination of the consistency on the mound and the consistency at the plate was what differentiated the Braves from the Astros and ultimately allowed them to win the World Series.
Yeah, and on the mound was Max Fried, who we were talking about a little bit offset. One of the stars and one of the heroes in Game 6, but when we talk about the World Series, you have to also talk about the emotional side of things, which was in the beginning of the season what the Braves were playing for, and they were playing in honor of Hank Aaron, number 44. And I saw an interesting anecdote. Before the All-Star break, they won 44 games. After the All-Star break, they won 44 games, and they won the World Series on the 44th week of the year.
Wow.
That just shows that baseball, it's more than baseball. And that angel that they had in the outfield being Hank Aaron, it really comes to play. And we just spoke a little bit about Max Fried, one of the pitchers, one of the studs for the Atlanta Braves. Let's go to the league as a whole, the MLB. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about the Cy Young Award winner, who that's going to be. Now, who do you think it's going to be?
So starting off with AL, I have Garrett Cole with the New York Yankees. You know, he pitched more games than a lot of the pitchers that are up for the award. He's a fighter. I mean, we saw it against that game with the Astros. He told Aaron Boone, listen, I'm not coming out of this game. He knows himself as a pitcher, and he knows his potential, and he wound up winning the game 1-0. So, you know, he really has consistency on the mound. I mean, I was a little disappointed in that final game with the Red Sox. He did not perform the way he normally does, but if you look at his overall performance throughout the entire season, he has Cy Young potential. Moving over to the NL, I have Julio Urias. Cy Young numbers. He has won 20 games of the season, and he has a 2.96 ERA. Numbers you see with Cy Young winners in the past. If you're looking strictly at ERA, you know, I would go with Max Scherzer, but, you know, I'm looking at his overall, he has a lot of emotion when he pitches, he has a lot of passion, and he really sees that every time he's on the mound. So I'm going with Urias for that one.
And it's interesting with Urias, he's got two other teammates that are also in the conversation for the Cy Young Award. You mentioned Max Scherzer, who's become a beast for them, leaving from the Nationals, getting traded, and going over to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you also have Walker Buehler, who's right behind Urias. I kind of agree with you. I think Urias is going to come away with the Cy Young Award on the NL side of things. But it's crazy how second and third place belong on the same pitching rotation in LA. The homer in me wants to go with Zach Wheeler. But the realistic person in me knows it's going to be one of the three, and I think who we have pictured here is going to be one of the three. Now, we know experts have been talking about the MVP of the season since June, July. You have guys like Shohei Ohtani, Vlad Guerrero Jr. When it was around the All-Star break, that's when the conversation was really starting. But Destiny, who do you think is going to come home with the MVP trophy?
You know, for MVP, you mentioned him, Shohei Ohtani. You know, he pitches, he hits, he was in the home run derby. He went pretty far in the home run derby, too. You don't see this a lot with pitchers, and he had 46 home runs this season, which is quite a bit. And if you look at him, he's an overall great athlete, and he really impressed me this season. So I'm going to have to go with him for the MVP.
Yeah, he put up crazy numbers, too, going with both the hitting and the pitching. When you think about it, though, on the National League side of things, the person I'm going to go with, I'm going to be a homer now. You got to look at Bryce Harper. Right now, he's the betting odds favorite. And the strong push he had towards the end of the season with 18 home runs since August and September, it's unreal numbers. And you have to also take into the valuable side of things. What he did for the Philadelphia Phillies program and how he really has motivated them. Obviously, they did not get the push that they needed. Sorry, Philly. But the motivation he had for the team and the energy he had for the team really is what pushed them over the edge to being in that conversation. But I ultimately do think he's going to come away with the MVP trophy on the National League side of things. Now, that'll do it here on Penn State Sports Night. So for Destiny Sanchez, I'm Zach Gershman. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching this edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also, follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.